Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to go ahead and get back to work on the 1978 Chevette scooter. So we uncovered some things on the flooring to check out the floors, and we're going to go ahead and bring you along right now and show you what we found on the floors and get our bus to work on this thing. So come on, let's get to work. So this is the driver's side floorboard, and you can see we just kind of wire wheeled this and kind of hit it with the grinder real quick just to knock some of the surface rust off, but really solid floor pan. So we're going to scuff this a little bit right there yet. There's nothing there, but then we got to we cut a hole out of here, cut the patch out of here because this had a rot through here to this brace. So we're going to weld this brace up. Hopefully from the bottom or from the top here, and plug it off from the bottom. We're going to weld that up and clean the rest of that up in there, clean the edges up good, cut a patch for that, good to go. And that's the only spot in the front. In the back, this is where a lot of the problem areas is, right back here. Try to turn my light more so you guys can see. I should just bring it back here. There we go. Okay, so you can see we had to cut this whole brace out right here. This is a brace from underneath, and we had to cut this whole patch out on the top here that goes along here, and right on up here, right underneath where the seat belt attaches up here. So we got that all cleaned out. We're going to clean our inside here a little bit more in that brace there and shoot some rust killer in there along with some paint in there to make sure that that brace stays as good as it can stay. We got to chisel out and clean out underneath this brace here where it goes along the floor pan where that attaches to it. I just want to get some of that chunk rust out of there. So we'll get rid of all that. Over here, you know, we cut it over here. We got to patch up into here. And then we got to patch right over here. Okay, this side right here is where it was bad. And you see right along the frame rail right there. We're going to cut a patch and patch that frame rail right here too, which I think will be totally fine with that. Then it's a matter of cutting another patch here to fit in here, which we can map it out from underneath. All we can do is get the curve right, the bend, and we'll be good to go from underneath. We can mark it out underneath and mark our template out. We should be good to go. So that'll be cool. Anyway, so that's pretty much the driver's side. You can see this, I believe. This is the piece that we took out of here. Okay, they went right there. And this one is the piece that went right here, like this. So that was pretty rotted. So we're gonna go ahead and cut one for that, get the bends in there, and we should be good to go with that one. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but we'll take you guys along for the process of doing that and get that done. That will fix up the driver's side as far as the floors go. We did discover we do have a problem on the bottom of the driver's door, which sucks, but we're gonna have to patch the driver's door. So we're gonna take the door off and patch that, which I did not plan on doing. I wish these damn cars were a little bit easier to find parts for. I'd just put a different door on it and be done with it. But the reality of it is they're getting harder and harder to find. And we do have the 76 two-door out back, but then that kind of just leaves a bad door for the 76. And plus, once we change the door, that means that it's gonna have to get painted at that point. So then let's take you around the passenger side. So we'll take you around the passenger side here, and you can see we still got the rust to cut out on this side. This one over here, the sidewall over here is good. No patching there. Just it looks like we're going to do the same back patch for the back that we did over on the driver's side. Maybe not quite as bad on this side. Then we're going to have a couple holes back here that we got to patch from underneath the car. So we're going to go This one we can probably do from the top, but it looks like 2 layers that have possibly rotted there. I'm not quite sure. This kind of feels like a factory. Yeah. I think what happened here is the exhaust was broke off right here, and this was where the end of the exhaust was. So I think all the condensation from the exhaust all the time ended up rotting right through the floor. Now the one on the other side here over by the seat belt, I'm gonna have to do that one from underneath. There's no way I can get that from the top with all this seat bracing here without peeling that back and re-welding it, which you really don't want to do. Yeah, so other than that, once I get that done, those holes in the back patched and the passenger side here, this thing will be just rock solid car, man. You just don't see them like this. I mean, this is, you know, your 70s Chevette, and honestly I don't see too many of them ever have a floor in them, so I'm just kind of stoked about that. So, but it'll be cool to finally have one that's, you know, done nice. I'm probably going to come at it again Friday. It is Thursday, so I'm going to try to work on it a little bit tomorrow, but definitely over the weekend I'll be able to work on it a little bit. So hopefully we'll get some more progress done. So
pretty good.
All right, guys, hey, I'm back. We're bringing you back up to date on the Chevette. Shut up, Brando. Nobody asked you. So we're going back to the vet. All right, let's tell you what we got done and what we found out.
You got lost.
All right, whatever. So you see we got all this rust, killerized, whatever you want to call it. Who cares? Anyways, moving on back to here. We're just laying in the car here. Okay, we just sprayed some rust killer back here because underneath this contraption that they call a back seat, we call it just a temporary bench. It's really all it is. You know what? I forgot a spot. Let me get my rust killer. Hold on. That's right. Oh, that's right. We're using the old Permatex rust treatment. Kills rust on contact, like Raid. I'm just gonna go ahead and spray some right there because, you know, some surface stuff started there. You know, why allow it? You know what I mean? Why allow the rust? You know, so, and then underneath there, you can see where it was starting to really want to get rusty. So we got to get another can of this stuff, because down in here in the crevices, you can see down in there, there was some surface rust in there. We need to kill that before it gets too bad. You can see we do have a hole right here. We're not trying to hide that from you. That is a hole. And we're going to cut that out, put that new piece in there, and weld her up and call it good. Yep, that's what we're going to do. There is not one on the other side. We didn't start working on the passenger side yet, but I'll turn my light. Yeah, and you can see that there is no hole over here, just a little dirty. So we got some cleaning up to do there. And we do got a couple holes here. You can see our seat belts are hanging through the floor here. Actually, ironically enough, this is where the exhaust pipe broke off, and the condensation from the pipe kind of sizzled away on the floor and ate that sucker alive. So yeah, you can see where the seam sealer, where the wheel well hits the, you know, frame rail, is all broken away. So we're going to put some new seam sealer in there. Like good stuff. It's a lot of work for a Chevette. You know what I mean? I didn't expect to put this kind of work into a Chevette, but here we are. So then here on the bottom here, ooh, careful now, don't you go falling on me. Here, what we got is there's a bracket underneath the car here that fastens to the body of the car, and that's what caused the rust. It seems like everywhere they put a bracket on under this car, that's where it wanted to start to rust. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what you're asking me for. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead, cut this out. I think we're going to cut some of this out, grind that down right there. Oops. Grind that down and see if we can clean that up and do it correctly and put a patch right there. And we'll put patch over there, of course. Now this top layer, which is the seat fold right here, this is just, I'm going to tell you this. Alright, so you see here with this top layer, it went over top of this exhaust hole, and I think it rotted out. I'm assuming it looks something like the driver's side. I don't think it looked exactly like it, but So it came out in here somewhere, right through here and over. So we're just gonna do the right thing and cut it off right here, because I don't see a reason to have 2 layers right there. So we're just gonna cut that off like that, get rid of that rust. We don't need it, and put a new piece in there on the bottom. It looks like we got some rust. What the heck am I? Yeah, we do got some rust right in here. And I'll bet you this is gonna turn into another hole. Why? Because everything's a hole. Everything's a hole. It'd be nice if it didn't turn into a hole, but yeah, maybe we can. Maybe it's a chunk of rust. I don't know. You know what? I bet there's another bracket here. I see the spot weld right there. Just like this side. I'm not doing it. I'm not replacing another one. So over here in this corner here, we got a hole here, and that goes up underneath. That's right, the rear seat thing here. So what my plan is currently.
Now connected to Brandon's iPhone.
What? Now I got Alexa talking. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and cut right up here, bzzz, like this, and then cut over here, bzzz, like that, and I'm gonna bend that back out of my way so I can get in there to work. So I ain't gotta do it from underneath the car, because that would just suck, and I'm not doing it. So the seam sealer over there, all cracked, breaking away from that wheel. We gotta load that up in there again. Get a little bit of rust on that sidewall over there. It looks like some surface rust we're gonna take care of. And then it's onto the passenger side. We didn't plan on a full restoration project on this car, but it certainly is turning out to be that way. And I'm not very fond of the color of the car. This kind of, I don't know what you call it, rusty orange. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't know. Oh, I forgot to rust treat the shifter. You gotta do that. Jeepers. Don't want our shifter hole rusting through. Now it can be a speed demon without that. Getting out on our little 1.6 liter. 77,000 miles. I wonder if it's accurate. I don't know. I'll bet you it's pretty close. So anyways, we're gonna let that dry. And oh, I guess I can show you this too. Fall away. Yeah, just fall over. Y'all listen, fall away. Move this. So we rust treated all this. This is looking a whole lot better. Now I just got to cut my patches for back here. That hole, boop, 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 and this hole back here. But before I do that, I got to cut this hole. Beep, 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 beep. Boop, 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 boop. And over there, I got to plug that one. That's got to be, I got to cut a patch for that. So I got to zip that out of there. Cut me a patch for that. This hole, I think, is, I've pretty much dug it. It's about as big as it's going to get. So I think I might just put some copper under there and weld that closed. This one here, I might do the same thing because it's kind of in a bad area. And it's just that one little spot. So I think I might put some copper back there and do the right thing and plug it. Yep. Then I got to try somehow to clean up all this edge, because I got to weld to that. This is just blown out, rotted. I don't know. Then I got to create a curve, come up here, weld up to here. That's going to be fun. Yep. Lots of fun. Then I got, of course, the little tiny patch up here. When I say little tiny, I mean, you know, 2x3, whatever. The brace still good underneath, so just put me a patch over there. Bzzz, and fixed. Done. All right. No more holes over here, so that's fantastic. Yeah. So bad enough that I got 2 holes over there, and these to mess with. Now the good news is I had nothing in the passenger's front floorboard to take care of. That's good news. But I do got the typical back stuff right back here that I'm dealing with on the driver's side. Not quite as bad on the passenger side, just one patch back there, and then the rest is back there. The passenger side survived better. I don't know why, it's the drive side. I have no idea. Okay, so I gotta get me some more of this magical rust treatment. Gotta get more of that magical good stuff, and go from there. And just in case you're wondering how they put these two cars together from the factory? They buttoned them together. And that's right. When they got done, they're like, let's button this one up. Gonna button that car up? Sure. Sure, button it. Ugh. Time to button things up. Alright, so let's put that on the roof. Collectible parts in case you gotta put it back in later. And we'll catch you next time once we get one of these patches in here and get some work done. I'm at one spot right now where I've got a patch to do on the floor, and it's probably nothing new to most people, but I figured I'd bring you guys along and show you kind of the way that we patch it. Now, the piece that we cut out of here is not any good and kind of fell to pieces, and there was a chunk of it gone, so it made it really tough to get the shape. So we're going to kind of show you guys the way that I do the shape on the floor, and see if it's hopefully it can help somebody out there. I don't know, but yeah, I wanted to bring you guys along. So come on, I'll bring you guys along, let you guys check it out, see what you think. All right, so as you can see, this is the spot right here that we cut out, and we went ahead and rust treated all of the metal area around here, but we got to cut a patch to fit that. We want to have it be just the right size. So I have some regular masking tape, and this is some regular visqueen, clear plastic like. So we're going to go ahead and lay it over top of the hole. I'm going to kind of tape it in place, kind of snug. And don't know how well you guys will be able to see this because I'm right-handed, so I'm going to move you. There it goes. Hope you guys can see it all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and kind of trace the outside edge on the metal that's existing on the car. And one way to make this a little bit easier is to go ahead and grind the metal here first. And that will get you a shiny edge to follow along the metal. So trim this back here, line this, and along here. There. Now I'm going to label this, let's see, this goes to the front, rear, and just in case I lose my marks, passenger and driver. Okay, so I got that all labeled. Now I'm going to take some scissors and cut this out. And remember that the line is actually on the good metal of the car. So I'm going to go ahead and cut just inside of the line to cut all the lines off, and my piece should fit in there. Now I am going to have, there's a little bit of rounded edge right here. I don't know if you can see this, where it kind of rounds around a little bit. So I am going to have to take and hammer just the end of this over just a little bit to make it butt up nice, and maybe just a little bit on the front. The front should be pretty good. I think I can just tack weld here, and then just kind of hammer that down flat right there on that side. But this side I may have to pre-bend it just a little bit. I'm not quite sure yet, but let's go ahead and get that cut out and see how that works. Okay, so we're going to skin about a marker width off two sides, and I think we're going to skin it off the driver's side because we got a little rib right there. I'm not quite sure why, but anyways, we got to skin that off. We're going to skin off the driver's side and make this kind of straight. So we got quite a bit of room to be able to skin off it, and we got to skin off the front of the back. So let's just skin it off the front a little bit. Put the width of a marker on here. About. It gets us pretty dang close anyway. So now there's lots of different ways to do this. You could cut this off there, but one way I like to do this is just go right to the cutoff wheel. Or not the cutoff wheel, but just to the flap disc. I like to go right to the flap disc. There. I'd rather have the patch to touch too big than too small, so that's why we can always shave some more off it, but we're going to use a marker probably. And so we're going to get our anvil over here. And it was the front and the rear that we had to bend over just a little bit. So we're just going to give it just a little smack on there. Perfect. Just a tiny roll. And a little bit on the back. There's actually more of a roll on the back, so there. You can see we got just a little bend on that, so let's go see if it fits. All right, so let's test fit it and see what we got. Driver's side, passenger side. Dropped in. Dropped in. Perfect fit. Nice fit. There we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and clean the edges up on both sides of these patches, and we'll get that welded in when we come back around. All right, so here's another look at the patch. You see the driver's side, the back, and passenger side. Front all fits pretty good. So that's kind of how we do it. So back here, we have a little bit more complicated areas to work with. Okay. So back here, what we got going on is the brace. The floor brace for the car is actually the brace underneath the car, the brace support. You see that's got a hole right here. So we have two options we can do with this. We can cut this brace out and put a piece in here. But this is like 14 gauge or 12 gauge metal. I mean, this is pretty thick structural stuff. So I think what we're going to do is I was going to weld a patch over top of this and just kind of lap weld over top and then fill the bottom in from underneath. But I think what I might do is I think I might slap some copper under it since it fits so nice and flat, and I think I might fill it with weld because it's not very thick in that area right there. And what's happening is it's the brace and there's a piece of floor that's got to go on over top of this, and I don't want that piece of, if I put another piece of metal on here, I don't want that to interfere with the new piece of metal going on. So I'm really not sure yet how I'm going to do that just yet. I haven't decided, but either way it'll get taken care of. So you can see the back part of the patch here. This is not it. Let me grab the piece that came out of here. So what's going on is this is a piece of metal here that came out of this section right here. Yeah, you can see we cut it out of here, and you can see it was pretty bad shape, and it's a very difficult cut to make, very difficult bend to make. So what I did is I'm doing it in two pieces, and this is the piece I made for here, and this will go right up in here like so, and weld up in there like so, and then the next piece, yeah, that'll go on like that, and then the next piece, which I gotta grind all down, I haven't finished forming it yet, but will come in like this. Okay, something like that. Okay, yeah, and that should form my piece for the floor right there. So again, I'm at another crossroads here. I mean, it's a Chevette, it's not a you know, 58 Corvette or something. So we're going to take this copper here and I'm going to fill that in, I think, right there to get that stronger. You see that is very thin sheet metal right there, very thin. So that's going to be fun to weld as it is. So I think I'm just going to fill that with weld and hopefully give me a little bit more thickness to work with when I weld the new panel in there. Anyway, we're going to patch that up there, and the new metal going in here is probably Well, the new metal going in is 18 gauge. And that piece right there is probably easily 20 gauge. Easily. So, I mean, the whole floor is definitely not 18. It's got to be 20 gauge. So, anyways, yeah, we're going to finish rust coating all this, rust proofing all that, put the rust stop on there, make sure we're good. I'm going to get all the surface rust off here, rust coat all that, and then that'll be taken care of. There's also another patch here on the side that I made a patch for this, and this will go in like this. And I'm going to butt weld this patch in here. This was the inner rocker basically. So I'm going to butt weld that, or patch that in there, butt weld that in. I'm going to hammer this flat, I think, and see if I can get this to give me a shape off this, or I might just do the plastic visqueen that we just did on the last patch. You've seen one of the other patches that we did in the floor with the visqueen. I might have to do that for this one too to get that shape. Yeah, so I may have to do that. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now on the driver's side. So, alright guys, it's time once again to use that favorite tool that we love to use more than anything. I'll tell you what, the plasma cutter. We're going to go ahead and use that baby to cut some of these patches out for the vet, take care of things. And they're small pieces, but we're going to use it anyway, just for fun, because we love it. So we're going to bring you in, show you how it works. We love this thing, and of course you got to have the plasma specs. Of course, through these babies, everything looks street freaks. Sweet. All right, so we're going to put these bad boys on and do a little plasma cutting, because it's like one of our favorites. Why not? Right? Oh, she makes for fast work. Yeah, I'm not the straightest cutter. I never said I was. Sweet. There's that one. Let's do a little more cutting, shall we? Scissors, no doubt. Bam, that's it, done. Safety glasses. We gotta have those, because we like our eyes. They help to see. So now we're gonna take this first tool, which is noisy as hell. We'll probably add some music here. The flap disc. And it's a little wore out, but it still does the trick really well. And this machine is pretty noisy, so bear with us. We'll add a music montage. Start now. 2 nice patches made. 1 and 2. Let's see how they fit under the car. We got some progress done on her. We didn't film all the whole process because we've just been on a little bit of a time crunch trying to get things done. But we wanted to take you guys along and show you what we did get accomplished on it. Last time we checked off with you, we were welding patches in the floors, and we had a few other areas that we had to work on that we discovered. And it's coming along. A little slower than what we want, but it's coming along. So let's go ahead and take you guys through and show you what we've been working on. There you have it. This is what the floors look like now. Okay, so as you know from the previous video, the floors up here was all pretty good. There was some patchwork back here that we had to do. We did do some patching along here. This seam here, this is all new metal here. Passenger said it wasn't quite as bad. We did do some patches back here. There's a new section in here. We put a new section down in here and a new section in here of the floor also. So we got that all done, and then once we got all this done, we'll walk over to the driver's side real quick, but once we got all this done, we wanted to go ahead and do the pour 15 over top to make sure that the floor stayed good and solid, rock solid. So as far as up here, we had a patch up here, a small one here, we had a little one here, and there was what appeared to be a pinhole starting over here. And once, of course, we started working on that pinhole, trying to get that to close up, it just really opened up. And we said, hell with it, and just put a whole new piece of metal patch in there. And a lot of these globs are just like factory, like seam sealer from the factory. This is all these globs are on the floor. Look at this. I mean, they were huge. You've seen them in the previous video. That's pretty big. But anyway, so we put a new patch here on the side, only metal in here on the side. All new metal here on the turn here. This bend here is all new metal. And we did do, again, 2 more patches in the back here. And we also went ahead and re-seam sealed all the seams here for the car. So we did it on both sides. We didn't paint the top of this with Pour 15 because it doesn't really hit anything as far as surface-wise. So we just kind of left it the original body color. Which, if it was up to me, we'd change the color of this car. But, let's be honest. But being the scooter and just a Chevette in general, you can see all the side panels of the body here inside the car is all that same exterior color. So I'm not a fan of the color at all, but it is what it is. So yeah, so anyways, that's kind of how the floor turned out type of thing so far, and everything's good there. I did have another spot down here where I had to put a new lip on the car right here. This was kind of rotted. And there was a little bit of rot on the inside there I had to take care of as well too, so. I haven't figured it out yet, but she's plain Jane. I mean, it's a scooter, you know? It's a scooter. And I got new decals that I can do for the car, so that's fine and dandy. I gotta decide yet whether or not I'm gonna do the original 78 grills in it that I redid, or if I'm gonna put 76, 77 grills in it, which I do have a NOS brand spanking new pair still in the GM boxes of 76 grills for this, which I've always liked the 76 and 7 grills better than the 78, just personal preference. And I also thought about putting chrome bumpers on it off like the regular Vette, so I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I guess we'll just kind of play it by ear. Right now I just want to drive the thing and enjoy it and have some fun with it, so that's kind of where I'm at. But she's really dusty and really dirty right now. That's what all this dust is on the bumper here, because we redid the bumpers, repainted those, and it's got little dents and dings throughout the car. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, you know, but I'd like to paint the car. I just don't know. And one big thing I guess I could ask all you guys while I got you on here is, what would you suggest for a color? Factory colors, they had a lot of really bright colors like lime green and yellow and really light blue and orange and all kinds of really bright colors. But so I don't know. I thought about lime green. I really like that, obviously. But who knows? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. This was actually pushed in right here. This should pushed in, so something had happened to that at one point. Got hit there, so it damaged the taillight, broke the taillight. I did some new taillights up last night. This is one of the new taillights that I had gotten, and this is the old one. You can see the old one was all busted up. Oh, through here, pretty toasty. And also, both of the clips at the top here are both broke off, which is supposed to be open like seam on here. So that was broke off, and this is the bezel that came on the taillight I bought, which is pretty rough. And the one that was on the car was pretty good, just dented. So I was able to fix the one that was on the car, and then I had to go ahead and fix because these were cracked. This one's still got a little crack in it here. This one wasn't so bad, it wasn't broke off. This one over here was broke off. So I had to weld a new one in here on the plastic, and hopefully that'll hold good. But I got it fixed, and I got this bezel all straightened out for the most part, so with a nice new taillight. So I already test fitted it in the car. Fits great in the car. I bought these on eBay, and I got all the sockets with it too, because the factory sockets in the car have quite a bit of rust. Let's see if I can get this up. Yeah, see, these are pretty nice yet, original sockets. And the ones that were in the car, let me show you. Yeah, see the rust in those? Pretty nasty. I didn't want to trust them. So I'm going to swap these out with the other sockets. It looks like the car sat for a while. Some of the sockets don't look so hot. So I'm going to change those out, get that done. I do have a set of door sill plates that I'm trying to find. Now, they don't make these for a Chevette anymore. You can't get them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some off from like a Cutlass, like an early Cutlass or a Monte Carlo 70 to 72-ish. And I'm going to go ahead and switch them around, because normally on a Chevette this high lip goes to the outside by the door and the flat side goes inside the car. And when you look at the Cutlass Monte Carlo, you see the Fisher logo here. When you look at the Cutlass Monte Carlo, they kind of sit this way according to the passenger side. So the fat lip goes on the inside of the car and the skinnier piece goes outside. But I'm going to change that. I'm going to put them on backwards. I'm going to go ahead and cut them to the appropriate length. And then I'm going to go ahead and make new Fisher body emblems and put them on the other direction. So when it's sitting in the car, it'll look like it's supposed to on the Chevette, like so. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take care of that. So hopefully that'll work out. It's bound to look better than these. Obviously I would need like a 1.5-inch washer to put these on, which would look like, but the next step on the car is going to be to change the differential cover, because we're at the very top of the brake line bolts on. At the very top, there's a hole in the differential cover. And it's a pretty common problem on these, but of course they don't repop nothing for these cars, so pretty common stuff that we've encountered. So you can see underneath the car, it's all been undercoated, taken care of back here. We're still working our way towards the front. We got the new shocks on there. We do got to paint the back drums yet, but yeah, so it all looks pretty good under here. We're going to go ahead and put a new ground wire on for the gas tank before we go ahead and put that on. I want to take you out and show you something really cool that we just picked up for it. Now a lot of you are going to be like, these things suck. These are really bad, okay? And we know that, but you know what? Wait till we're done. Bam. I was able to find some of these bad boys online, and we've been looking for these for quite a long time. Now they're a Krager style, but they're only a 4-spoke, they're 4-lug unilug, and they'll bolt on. So we're going to go ahead and take these and have them blasted and have them powder coated to the shiniest silver that we can. So it's good, it's fine. And then we're going to go and put some white leather tires on there, some new white leather tires on there, and get rid of these old junks. So these were a 7013. The ones that we have picked out for the car are a 6013. And they're 205 6013. And you can only get the tires in BF Goodrich, and you can only get them in one size for the 13, so that's what we're gonna have to do. And they're still, you know, savable, so why not? You know, price is right, good deal on them. And I've been hunting for these tires or these wheels like this, honestly, for about a year. So I'm pretty excited to have them. It is what it is. So guys, this is what's going on with the Vette. We got the floors done, working on the gas tank and all that good stuff next, and we got to get those badass rims sandblasted and powder coated so we can get those put on the Vette too. And I got to get new tires ordered for this damn thing, which I'm spending over 600 hours in tires on this thing. Man, this is it's a Chevette. It's a damn good thing the value of these are going up. That's all I'll say. It's a damn good thing the value is going up. That's where the Chevette sits so far at this point. Tune in for the little car that could, the little Vette. All right, the poor man's Vette. All right, guys, we will talk to you in the next episode. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, take care of your families, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.